you've got kind of an artistic hand, which is round at the bottom, and with the squareness at the top and the roundness at the bottom, it's actually a musician's hand. You've got a wonderful musician's hand in your palm shape. See how square it is at the top and then round down there at the base of the thumb and the edge of the hand? Your fingertips, I only read these on the right hand. The right hand is your present and your future. Your left hand is your past. So the right hand has 2 pointed fingertips, and then you have 3 round fingertips in the personality. So the pointy fingertips indicate you like fine things, diplomatic, sensitive. Generally you are a collector when you have a pointed fingertips. And then round fingertips are very compassionate. People that work in the health field, doctors, nurses, whatever. I think you're probably qualified with the job that you did. Take care of people and you care about people. Now we're going to look at the length of your fingers. Short fingertips mean one thing, and I don't mean fingertips, I mean short fingers mean one thing, and long fingers mean another thing. So I've got them circled on each one of these. You've got quite a long thumb. People with the short thumbs are the people who do numbers, like accountants and architects, whatnot. People with long thumbs do very well in life. They have good manual dexterity. They can hold things and work well with their hands. Let's look at your index finger. Now we're going to work our way around counterclockwise on this. The index finger if it's long, it's the boss finger, the manager finger. If it's short, you're self-motivated, or you work well on your own. Yours is just absolutely average. Right in between short and long. It's just absolutely medium. So you could do either one. You could be the boss or the manager, but you're highly self-motivated too. The middle finger is your business finger. If that's a real long finger, you have a good, sharp business sense. But yours is kind of short. It needs to be about the length of your palm. When you have that short finger, you're quite concerned about social issues or about human beings. You're very compassionate and care about people. So generally people with that finger are social workers, or again, the job that you had probably when you're concerned about other people. Now this is the ring finger is your right brain, and your little finger is your left brain. So the right brain is very creative, imaginative. That one, but yours is kind of short. When that finger is short, you're very practical and systematic, very well organized. That's an organization finger when that's a short finger. And then your little finger, which is your left brain, your scholarly finger, means you work well with words and letters. Paperwork and writing things is not your favorite thing to do. You're a very active person, hands-on person, and that's excellent. You got kind of a short little finger. You don't like to sit around and write things. Now here's the one you really want to know about, your marriage lines and your kid lines. I can see 2 marriage lines, and they're very definite. And you look at the end of the heart line, in between the end of the heart line and the ring that's around the little finger. Towards the heart line is the early part of your life, and the ring around your little finger is the later part of your life. So I can see your one first marriage, which is kind of poor. It isn't a real good line. But the line above it is an excellent line. That's a good marriage line. It's a good, deep marriage line. It looks like a loving relationship. Your flirt lines, if you got little tassels on the end of that heart line, those are flirt lines. And you have just excellent tassels. That actually means that you interact well with people. So that's a good line, I guess, for your career. Now let's look at your heart line. You should have a nice deep curve in the heart line. Yours is a little bit straight, indicating you might have had kind of a tough life when you was a younger child. Either that, or maybe you had an accident or an illness or something, because it's a little bit straight through that, and I've marked on there, you're kind of tough emotionally. Sometimes you put a screen around you a little bit and to ward off the emotions. It might be because you've had some bad relationships too. But your heart line is good up until you're 50. You got a little break in that line, and then I get a little bit of stress on that line. When you get the little lines going across that line, basically your heart line looks fairly healthy, but I get that one little break in it. If you look at the top left part of the page, anytime you have islands or little breaks in the line or lines going across the line, they're little stress marks, X's or O's or lines going across it. So you're tough emotionally, but basically your heart line looks pretty good. Actually, your whole hand looks really quite healthy. That line, that heart line, continues over. It should only start in between your index finger and your middle finger, but it continues over underneath the index finger, particularly on the left hand. That's a little jealousy mark, my dear. So don't let that get the best of you. It's in your right hand, your present hand. That's kind of diminishing a little bit, but it was quite strong in your past hand, your left hand. Look down underneath that index finger, and you're looking for a nice little fat pad. Yours looks like you got a nice little fat mound in there. If you do, that's your sixth sense, your kind of your psychic ability, your intuition, and it looks like it's fairly good. So you need to listen to your little promptings. If you got a problem, you just put it right out of your mind, leave it alone for about 20 minutes. Just leave your mind kind of blank, and when you come back to the problem, it'll probably be solved. That's your intuition kicking in. Let's look at the headline. It's the one that goes right across your hand. You sure got some problems in that line. That is your head and your spine line. Your intelligence, and by the way, when that goes right straight across your hand, you're very smart. Your line does, but you got a little dippy-do, a little line that goes down towards the that fat pad on the outside of your hand. It's the luna area. You don't want to see that little line going down. It's a depression line. It means that you're out of place at the top part of your spine, up in your neck a little bit. Now on your left hand, that's where I said that you had quite a little mess in that line. Looks to me like you've had your lower back hurt. Maybe a broken back or stressed your lower back, done something to your lower back. I show it's healed up a little bit. It looks a lot better in the right hand. But you still got some problems down in that low spine. If you look on the spine chart, I've circled the place in the spine where you've got some little oval markings way down in that low spine and right around the top part of the hip area, just below your waist a little bit. And then right between your shoulder blades is not. There's an island right in there. That's not a good sign. You've got some stress on that spine. I would suggest that you see a physical therapist or a chiropractor or someone that can work on your spine a little bit. Let's jump down here to the Lifeline now. That Lifeline is not going to tell you how long you're going to live. Your Fate Line is going to tell you how long you're going to live. But what your Lifeline does tell you, it has to do with your lungs and your breathing, your pulmonary system. And then your guardian angels show on that Lifeline. I looked at your left hand, and I have to find lines that go across that line, and a little parallel lines that go next to that Lifeline. I saw one at age 15, one at 22, and one at 35. Now these are people who have passed away, your relatives, grandmas, grandpas, aunties, uncles, cousins, good friends, spouses, friends of the family. Sometimes they can even be kids you knew in school. looking over into that area in between the thumb and the index finger, it says injuries at age 14, 15, and 16. You've got a little bunch of islands in there right in your teenage years. Leads me to believe you might have got hurt, maybe in your back, when you were 14, 15, 16. Car wreck or something, or you might have done some sports where you got injured, or fallen off a horse, or something like that. But I showed some pretty good injuries at 14, 15, 16. Let's go back over to the left-hand side of that hand. The money line's marked in red. That starts down right. You have a health line that goes along the side, makes a little triangle in there in the middle of the hand. And it's the bottom of the triangle part. That's your health line. And that's your internal organs. You got a couple of little stress lines on there, leading me again to believe that you got some problems in your lower back. That is an indication of your colon, your stomach, your pancreas, your gallbladder, something like that. And if that back is out of place, or if you had some injury to the back, that would certainly stress those internal organs. Then the money line continues up there. You actually have two really good money lines going along your hand all the way up. That goes up in between the little finger. You've got one little break in one of the money lines, but that other line keeps going all the way up to in between the little finger and the ring finger. And when you get up to, clear up to the top in your older age, the lower part of that line is your early age. And when you get up to the top of the palm, that's your later retirement area. You've got two lines till your 50s, and then you've got three sources of income, probably around your retirement area, maybe in your late 50s or 60s. But then I saw some really good stuff going on in your 50s. Let's look at your fate line. That's the one that goes up the middle of your hand to your middle ring, not the ring finger, the Saturn finger. That's your business finger. That starts kind of towards the outside of your hand. Means you're quite sociable. You like to have people around you all the time. If it goes right down the middle of your hand, you're private and you don't like to have people around you all the time. But you're just quite sociable. When you see the breaks in the line, they're generally breaks that overlap. That's changes in your career or your lifestyle. That's where I thought probably you'd marry again, is where I saw the breaks in that line. I get a change around age 35 and 36. Then I get another change around age 40, just prior to age 40. That's why I thought probably just before 40 you would marry again, because you've got a big change in that fate line. That line kind of weakens through there. I don't think you'll work so hard in your 40s. But then I see that line come in again about age 53, where it gets quite strong. Remember, it goes up to that middle business finger, and that's when it's going to tell you how long you're going to live, and I can get you up to age 84. Now, I'll bet you if you have that back worked on, I'll bet you that line will, I can see lines up in the upper part of that finger, and I'll bet that line would lengthen up to your 90s. Look at where I've got a little fame line, F-A-M-E. Off that fate line, somewhere after, well, probably in your 60s, I show a little line that goes over towards that index finger. It's not a real heavy one, but it's a slight fame line. You'll be famous for something in your 60s. And I also show that around 59 or so in your achievement lines. Lines that come off that lifeline, they're hard to read. Little slight lines that come right straight up off that lifeline. That's a little achievement line. And it comes down around the base of that thumb, and then it comes from the outside of the hand. So look up in that upper left-hand corner of the page. And these are where your achievement lines show in your Lifeline. These are good at age 24, 29, 30, 36, 39. Anything I've circled is extra good. 46, extra good. 49, extra good. 50, 52, 53, 57, and 59 are really good lines. That's why I think maybe around your late 50s and early 60s that you got a little fame line in there for some reason. That's coming off that fate line. I've got a little note down there at the bottom that says, did you have an accident in your 30s? I show kind of a break in that line that may have been an accident of some kind. And I show one also in your left hand in the same place. In those kind of your early, I don't know, from 30 on up. So somewhere in that area. You should do very well in life, and you've got those late 50s and early 60s to look forward to that's got some fame in it. Okay, good luck.